Good afternoon, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Merrita Llarena.
And I'm Soudbaksh.
California is losing the battle to keep film and television production in Hollywood. 8 of the 9 Oscar nominees for last year's Best Picture were filmed outside of California. Other states such as New York, Louisiana, and Georgia offer large tax incentives for film productions that shoot in their states, incentives that California has yet to match. Feature films shooting in California has been roughly cut in half from its peak year in 1996. TV drama production is down 39% from its peak in 2008. 16,000 entertainment jobs have been lost over the last decade.
California lawmakers are at work on Assembly Bill 1839 that would help keep entertainment jobs and production in the state. The bill would increase tax incentives that as much as $5 billion over the next 5 years and would include big budget movies and network TV shows, the productions most at risk of leaving the state. Opponents say the bill would drain money from vital social services like education. Danny Max is in the studio with a guest to discuss runaway production.
Hi, I'm joined alongside Bob Gustafson, who is a professor in the CTVA department here on campus, and he is also head of the Entertainment Industry Institute here on campus. Bob, what exactly is runaway production, and what is the landscape for film and television here in California right now?
Runaway production means that the production of television and feature films is leaving LA, where it was traditionally headquartered for really going back 100 years. This evolution has speeded up. There's great competition from Canada and from lots of other states, including Georgia, Louisiana, Nevada, and New York. So there's a lot of jobs are leaving Los Angeles, especially the Valley.
What is the major thing that these other states can offer that we aren't able to do for these productions?
A lot of states are looking really for employment for their own citizens and offer tax breaks to feature films and television production, commercial production, to hire locals. And this is expanding. It's expanded greatly in the last 2 years. And
what is California specifically, what are they trying to do in state legislation to combat this? Could you talk a little bit about AB 1839?
Currently there is a law that is about to expire that every year there's $100 million of tax breaks for production in California. And that's been used over the years. That's about to expire. There are people, of course, who do not want that to happen because unemployment would increase. The amount of production, of course, would go away even further. And they're in competition with other American states, like I say, and Canada, who offer lots of tax breaks and other incentives. So the legislation is to maintain the tax breaks and, in fact, increase them to keep production here.
And then finally, so until a measure like AB 1839 is passed, who's the most affected by runaway production here in California?
It's actually the average person. It's not the millionaires and the zillionaires and the people who are called celebrities and so forth. But production has what's called the multiplier effect, that these people, it's not just their employment, but it's all these other things that's involved in their employment. They're purchasing everything from hardware to groceries to gasoline and all of these things that go into their lives as a fully employed person. Runaway production means these people are essentially out of work. When 3 years ago, when New York City really stepped up and took production away from LA, New York went from 2 primetime series per year to 24 primetime series produced there per year that otherwise would likely have been here. The number of persons in New York City who are now employed who wouldn't be otherwise is 533,000.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for being with us here today. Back to you guys in the studio.
The attorney for a man accusing X-Men director Bryan Singer of sexual abuse has filed additional similar charges against 3 other Hollywood executives. The accused are Garth Ancier, David Newman, and Gary Goddard. The suit accuses them, along with Singer, of sexually abusing Michael F. Egan III. Egan alleges that the assaults by Singer took place at parties in California when he was 17. Egan is now 31 and lives in Nevada. He says the abuse was part of an entertainment industry sex ring that involved underage boys.
Netflix says it'll increase subscription prices for new customers by $1 or $2, but it says existing subscribers will continue to pay the same rate for what is called a generous period of time. The service has 36 million customers in the U.S. and over 48 million globally. Internet service providers want Netflix to pay a fee for directly connecting to their networks, but Netflix says that providers have no legal right to charge them. The Netflix executives also announced their disapproval of the pending merge of Comcast and Time Warner Cable. If the merger is approved, it creates the nation's largest cable company.
Today is Earth Day and a great opportunity to consider ways to conserve energy. Experts recommend water-conserving toilets, converting your house to solar, buying CFL light bulbs, opting for reusable canteens instead of plastic water bottles, and switching to LED lights. In addition to protecting the environment, these tips can also cut costs on household bills.
Funeral services were held today for LAPD motorcycle officer Chris Cortejo, who died several days after he was struck by an SUV. Prosecutors say the SUV driver was under the influence of cocaine. She faces up to 10 years in state prison if convicted. Officer Cortejo was a 27-year-old veteran of the LAPD.
CSUN Student Housing Department is working hard towards sustainable housing. Matasphere is a new living community created to encourage students to be involved in community gardening, composting, and water conservation. This program is offered on a first-come, first-served basis, so students who are interested should apply at the Housing Department as soon as possible.
The number of UC applications is high, but acceptance is low, at least for California students. Most campuses are taking fewer California students and accepting more from out of state. A California student's chances of getting into UCLA or UC Berkeley are now lower than 1 in 5. Students must rank in the top 9% of their high school class or in the top 9% statewide academically to be admitted in the UC system. One reason for the larger number of out-of-state students is they pay $23,000 more in tuition than in-state students.
For the first time in history, Latinos outnumber Anglos in the UC freshman class. Nearly 29% of the UC freshman class is made up of Latinos. Anglos comprise just under 27%. Asian Americans make up 37% of the freshman class, and blacks just 4%.
The U.S. Supreme Court has upheld Michigan's ban on the affirmative action. The court says the issue should be left to the voters. The 6-2 decision clears away constitutional challenges to affirmative action.
A 16-year-old teen hopped San Jose's International Airport's fence and stowed away in the wheel well of a Hawaii-bound jet on Sunday.
He indicated that there was some problems at home with his family, and he left the home and headed out to the airport.
The teen told authorities he climbed into the left rear wheel well. Authorities believe he blacked out shortly after the plane took off. The teen was fed, and medics took him to the Maui Memorial Medical Center for treatment. The only thing the youth had with him was a comb.
More than 200 people are still missing as the search for passengers on a sunken South Korean ferry continues. The death toll now stands at 87. Hope is fading of finding any survivors. Divers are now focusing on the area of the ship's cafeteria where officials believe many students were when the ship started sinking. The captain is facing criminal charges, including negligence and ship abandonment. Newly released radio transcripts suggest the ferry tilted so quickly that it became nearly impossible for many passengers to search lifeboats. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused the shipwreck.
It has been 46 days since Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 has vanished. There is a rule that says American lawyers have to wait 45 days to reach out to families that have lost a loved one on the plane, have lost a loved one in a plane crash. Families can now file suits in American courts against aircraft manufacturer Boeing. The only problem is no wreckage has been found. Experts say it's like a murder case without a body.
Vice President Joe Biden is promising U.S. support for Ukraine amid the nation's crisis with Russia. He held a press conference today in Kiev. Biden says a $5 million aid package will help the country both economically and politically. Ukraine will also receive an additional $8 million in non-lethal military aid. Biden said U.S. support for Ukraine goes deeper than foreign policy.
As you all know well, we have a significant Ukrainian American population. We stand with you. And it is not just a foreign policy judgment, it is a personal, it's an emotional commitment as well.
Biden also underscored the U.S.'s commitment to help the nation reduce its dependence on Russian energy. The vice president returns from Ukraine later today.
It's partly cloudy in Northridge, and the high will reach 75 degrees. Temperatures will continue to heat up through Thursday, and things will begin to cool down a bit starting Friday. And now here's Cynthia Carrazco with sports.
Thank you, Merrita. For the first time since 1983, an American man has won the Boston Marathon. Over a year after the bombing happened at the annual event, Mel Kiflegi finished the marathon with a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 37 seconds. Over 35,000 entrants lined up with Kiflegi to participate in the race. Kiflegi ran with the names of the victims of last year's attack written on his bib. Kiflegi says that he's been focused on the race all year.
Every day since last year, I've been visualizing for this moment for me personally. You know, when the Red Sox won and put it in the finish line, I want to do that for the runners.
Kiflegi is a UCLA graduate and a naturalized U.S. citizen who immigrated from Eritrea and his family in 1987. The LA Kings bring the playoffs back to Staples Center tonight, down 2-0 to the San Jose Sharks. The Kings lost the first 2 games in San Jose by more than 3 goals each time. Tonight's game will be on NBC Sports Network at 7 p.m. The other SoCal team, the Anaheim Ducks, were shut out last night by Dallas Stars 3-0. Goalie Kari Lehtonen kept the Ducks goose-egged, blocking all 37 shots while the Stars scored a goal in each period. The Ducks are up in the series 2-1. The Ducks will take on the Stars tomorrow night in Dallas before bringing it home for Game 5 on Friday. The Clippers made franchise history last night in their second playoff game against the Golden State Warriors. The 138-98 victory was the most lopsided Clipper victory in their playoff history. Blake Griffin scored a career playoff high of 35 points without playing in the fourth quarter. Clippers coach Doc Rivers and Jermaine O'Neal from the Warriors were both given a technical foul in the first half of their dispute over a foul. Game 3 of the Western Conference playoff series will be held Thursday at 7:30 at Golden State. The series is tied 1-1. The Dodgers dropped their series opener against the Phillies last night at Dodger Stadium, 7-0. Paul Mulholland was their losing pitcher. This was the first time the Dodgers have been shut out this season. The Dodgers and the Phillies play again tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Angels beat the Nationals in Washington last night 4-2. The 2 teams play again tonight. The CSUN men's baseball won 2 out of 3 games from Hawaii over the past week. CSUN beat Hawaii 6-2 on Thursday and 2-1 on Friday. They lost on Saturday 9-1. CSUN's next series begins tonight in San Diego. That's all for sports. Back to you, Tara.
Lindsay Lohan admitted in the last episode of her documentary that she suffered a miscarriage. Lohan's docu-series Lindsay covers the repair of her career after she left rehab in July 2013. The actress hasn't reported any information on her miscarriage.
April is Stress Awareness Month, and experts say it's time for Americans to build a healthy lifestyle to help manage life's frustrations. They say people often turn to food as a source of comfort, but that only improves the mood temporarily. Experts say mindful eating and portion control are strategies that have been tested to avoid unhealthy weight gain. They say exercise is a prime source for stress relief and distraction.
Surgeons in India say they have found 12 gold bars in a man's stomach. They say the 36-year-old patient came to the hospital suffering from severe stomach pain and nausea. Police say the patient is a smuggler who was trying to evade import duties and the authorities. Each bar weighed 33 grams. The patient was discharged after surgery. Police have not filed charges in the case.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Merrita Llarena.
And I'm Soudbaksh. Have a great day.